should I choose? This video contains scenes of violence, psychological trauma, and dark, mature themes from Fox's Route and the Price of Flesh. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we are playing The Price of Flesh. You guys told me I should play this, and trust me, I am going to. So, as you can tell by the title, we know whose route we're going to start with, and I'm excited to do it. Especially with finishing You Kill Me Every Time. I thought it would be perfect to get more Ren content because we love Ren. So, let's get started. I love this game so much. I love it. Hey. She's waking up. Oh, just a sec. Something was pressed against my face. I barely had time to register the sound of a car's engine before I passed out again. Where? Whoa. Where am I? I looked down, horrified to see only shackles. I couldn't see anyone else. Hello? Suddenly, a cheerful voice rang through the speakers placed around the room. This OST, I love it so much. Good evening and welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, have I got a treat for you? She's fresh, healthy, and alert, and I'm sure she'll be versatile enough to fulfill any of your needs. The voice chuckled softly. Now, I'm sure you all know the drill. I'll start asking questions, and you lovely folks can begin bidding at any time. Get on with it. Shut up unless you're bidding. You sound like a hag. And I'm too excited to voice this. You little... I bet you can't even afford anything here. Get back to... Now. Shouldn't we save our passion for the main event? For a moment, the voices went silent. Shall we ask our items some questions and begin the bidding? Yes, please. Excellent. Let's begin. We'll start the bidding at 100. So much characters to voice. Okay. Like turning red. I'm like a fan or something. I wondered briefly about what it was even 100 of. I decided I didn't want to know what I was worth. Here's our first question. What are you doing here? Yeah, what am I doing here? I don't even know. I waited for a moment, realizing he was addressing me. I don't know. Am I supposed to know what's going on? 110. Wonderful. Now, do you consider yourself to be athletic? Not sure. I don't know, guys. Kind of? Here's the fun one. Are you scared? Yes, we are. What the hell kind of questions are these? I doubted that I could hide the shaking of my legs anyway. Fine, yeah. 130. Okay, let's see. How much money do you make? Nothing, but let's just do this. 180. Good. Okay. How well do you follow instructions? I can follow instructions just fine. Oh, this one's interesting. We're not answering that, guys. 190. 200. Don't worry, just a couple left. Do you enjoy camping? I stood there stunned for a moment. What does this have to do with any of this? We'll do this. I scoffed quietly. Was one of these weirdos wanting to take me camping? 250. Mason sure does. Alright. You're doing wonderfully. Last question. Who would you like to go home with? What? I looked at the windows across from me in the dark room. I wonder what we're choosing. Oh? The announcer suddenly laughed with a strange bark. Stop messing around. The announcer cleared his throat. Yes, of course. I'm very flattered, but I would simply love to take you home. But I'm afraid the show must go on. These lovely and very patient patrons have paid good money to be here today. So let's wrap up the bidding, shall we? I'm gonna beg him to take us home. Wait, please. I fumbled for reasons. These people all sound insane. Surely I stand a better chance with whoever is doing the announcing here. So, in a situation where you're being bid off, you think the announcer would be even nicer? I want to go with you, not them, please. I flushed at the sound of desperation in my voice. Please just let this work. That's kind of cute. You know, maybe you should take her home. What the hell are you talking about? We already bid. Relax. There's other choices, aren't there? Oh, of course. We have a very diverse and exciting selection of products for you to peruse today. Peruse or pursue? See, you could just bid on another one. And I'm sure his fans would love to see another show. I stood there frozen listening to the exchange. Something about the blue window's voice changed when she mentioned a show. I'm humbled and flattered. Whatever you're deciding, get it over with. Oh, yes, I'm terribly sorry for the interruption. Well, how about this? If you're willing to so graciously relinquish this delightful specimen to myself, I'll give you three a 10% discount on your next purchase. Oh, you're too kind. I happily accept. And I'm sure the others do too. Don't talk for me. But I guess it's fine. I don't really want this one anyway. Silence overtook the room again as the others waited for the green window to speak. It's fine. I can wait for another one. So it's settled then. What an exciting turn of events. I suppose I'm the one who won this bid. He let out another barking laugh. Let's get her packed up and move on to our next product. I felt a sharp jab in my ankle. What? I tried to bend down to inspect the pain, but I just crumpled to the floor. There was pain in my leg and I couldn't move. I was seeing double and trying to speak. But I passed out. Oh yeah, we're entering the Show Must Go On DLC. The first thing I noticed was a pounding headache, then a strange sound. Clicking. I strained to hear as the clicking became the rapid tapping of a keyboard. I opened my eyes. It's dark. Why am I so uncomfortable? I began to register my position, kneeling on the floor with my arms above my head. I tried to lower my arms and heard the unsettling clink of heavy chains. Oh. Someone was in front of me. Look who's awake. Right on schedule. I jerked in surprise away from him, but the chains held me in place. The voice was strange, flat and mechanical. I couldn't make out his face. So, how are you? How am I? Do you remember what happened? As my brain started waking up, 1,000 questions started to bubble to the surface. Where am I? You're exactly where you asked to be, he chuckled softly. But don't worry about that. You made a choice. A choice to become my lovely co-star. And I have to admit, I'm a bit giddy. No one's ever asked to come with me before. And it's been so long since I put on a show. As he spoke, I tried to take note of my surroundings. It's so dark. But I looked at the man in front of me. Aside from the strange ears and what appeared to be a tail, he's so short and has a slender build. A little flame of hope came to life in my chest. I definitely made the right choice. I could have a chance in a fight. I looked down at myself, and my train of thought was completely derailed. Underwear? And it's lacy. This definitely isn't mine. A chance with Ren Hanna himself. You do not have a chance with Ren. Ah, yes, your outfit. I thought it would be perfect for your first show. What do you think? I guess it's cute. Oh, you like it? It does look so cute on you. I spent quite a bit of time picking out the right set. We're going to have so much fun. And I just know Chat will love you. Chat? The question popped out before I could think about it. Yes, darling. In just a few moments, we're going live. It's a big audience we've gathered. Oh, and I almost forgot. You can call me Fox. Everyone else does. He placed a finger to my lips, and I felt the odd sensation of a claw above it. Don't worry, I don't need your name. I already know it. Creepy. It's creepy. I opened my mouth to protest, but he had already turned away. I looked at the equipment surrounding me. They're cameras. A deep fear started to creep up my throat. Wait, you can't film me. You can't. Shh. We're starting. Hello? Can you hear me? How's the feed? I could tell he wasn't speaking to me. I couldn't quite see around him. Yes, you too. My goodness. You got in here fast. He cleared his throat and stood up straight. Oh God. Good evening, everyone. I'm so glad you could join me on such short notice. Oh yes, I missed you too. Yes, my beautiful patrons of exquisite taste. Welcome back. He lifted his voice and spoke in a deeply expressive way to his audience. It overcame the mechanical flatness that seemed to be caused by his mask. I've got such a treat for you today. A fresh face. Please say hello to Alice. She was going to be used for other business, but she wanted to come here instead. I squinted at the computer screen. It was some kind of chat room and video feed of me. These people are watching me? Insult them. What are you looking at, you sick freaks? Why aren't you calling the police? What's wrong with you? I strained against the chains. His sharp laugh cut through the air again. So feisty. We do love the spirited ones, don't we? Oh, and a big win for Diamond. You really do have such excellent intuition. I just noticed this Diamond is Celia? What the hell is he talking about? What is this? I gritted my teeth. Yelling isn't getting me anywhere. Oh, Rancor, that is disgusting. Maybe later. Come on now, you guys know the drill. We need to pace ourselves. We need to make it last, right? Let's start small. He suddenly got close to me. He gently grabbed one of my pinky fingers. I tried to pull it away, but my hands were shackled together and chained up. Get those bets ready. This counts as first blood, all right? Oh God, what'd he do? He yanked my finger backwards with vicious force. My scream dissolved into a pained groan. I looked back up to him, half expecting him to be facing the computer. But he wasn't. He was staring intently at me. My hands were shaking as I tried to hold back tears. Not bad at all. Should I leave it there or put it back? I opened my mouth and choked down a whimper before speaking. I feel bad because he turned to this because it's straight. Put it back. He seemed pleased by my request. Of course. He immediately grabbed my finger and pulled it back into place. The wet grinding sound in my hand made me feel sick, but I managed to endure it without screaming, and it did seem to feel slightly better. I flinched as he moved, but it was only to turn to the screen again. So, what do we think? Yes, I think so too. His tail swished behind him excitedly. Already? He laughed sharply. Well, with a donation like that, your wish is my command. So, feet again, Pandemonium. I'm just teasing, of course. Let's see what we can do. He took a theatrical bow before stepping back towards me. That's creepy. Like, he's so fancy. And it's like, take a bow. Wait, don't. He ignored me completely as he bent down to my level. My protest cut off in surprise as he reached behind me and cupped my. Oh God. I heard him breathing through the mask as he took a moment to squeeze the flesh. He slid his hands slowly down into the crook of my legs. Okay, what the hell? I yelped as my weight dropped entirely to my shackled wrist above me. Oh, what are you doing? He continued to ignore me and adjusted a camera. Now that my feet were in front of me, I realized that they too were shackled together. I shuddered as he held one of my feet and rubbed the clawed thumb. Take a good look, guys. The glint of the knife seemed to stop my heart for a moment. Things are about to get messy. I tried to jerk my foot out of his grasp, but his grip was as tight as the iron shackles. Pain streaked up my leg as he pressed the tip of the knife into my soul. Oh God, I clenched my jaw and tried not to scream. I didn't want to give these people what they surely wanted. I didn't want to look, but he caught my gaze and a knowing look crossed his eyes. He looks cute though with that smile though. Look at him. Oh God. He plunged the knife deep into the bones and tendons of my foot. I only realized I was shrieking a moment later. We've got plenty of blood now. I was shaking uncontrollably and hanging from my wrists made it terribly obvious. She's gotten nice and wet. What do you think, Chad? He leaned closer to me. Should I have a feel? He didn't look at his screens or wait for an answer. No! He shoved his thumb. Oh God, that's disgusting! It's like I'm torturing myself doing this route again. He shoved his thumb into the wound in my foot, tearing another scream from me with his thick claw. No. My vision wavered as he massaged his thumb roughly in the wound. But you begged for this. Or did you forget? Please, I didn't. He flipped the knife in the show for the camera. You did. And I think chat would like to see some more blood. Isn't that right? He finally relinquished my foot and turned to his monitors. After reading for a moment, he chuckled. You guys are so one-track-minded. That's why I love you. As the pain from my foot turned into a duller ache, I noticed the pain in my wrist again. I struggled to get back under myself, and he noticed. Here, let me help you with that. I cursed myself for flinching from him again, but he simply pushed my legs into their first position. Now, Chet is still thirsty. Oh my gosh, I need water. I need water. Chet is still thirsty. What do you think? Beg him to stop. Please, stop, please. I'll do whatever you want, just stop. I gasped as he lunged close to me without warning and cradled my jaw in his hand. You will do whatever I want. He lowered his voice to a whisper. I want you to keep begging and crying for the cameras. And I want you to bleed. I'll do anything except that. He moved to give a clear view for the cameras. He raised the knife, my blood still clinging to the edge. I sucked in a breath in preparation as he lowered it to the skin of my chest. He raked it shallowly across my body, slicing apart the lacy top he dressed me in. No. It stung, but I kept my composure as well as I could. For a moment, I wondered why he would cut apart the underwear he must have bought. I looked down at his knife, and the absurdity of that almost made me laugh. What is happening to me? The sting of the blade interrupted the chaos of my thoughts. Couldn't suppress a groan this time. It was cutting deeper than before. A hot trickle of blood made its way over my heaving chest. I barely registered a low hum coming from him as he stroked warm fingers over my bloody chest. The sensation made me shiver involuntarily. Lovely. He raised the knife to my collarbone. I winced before the knife touched me, but it didn't prepare me for the intense pain. I couldn't help but cry out. It hurt so much worse than the other cuts. His other hand had dipped to my waist. My composure was breaking. I could feel it. He kept cutting and I kept crying. When I raised my voice, his hand squeezed my waist, digging claws into my skin. I glanced down and choked. My entire body was covered in blood. Is he going to kill me like this? As if he could read minds, he stilled his hands and leaned in close. I could hear him breathing hard through the mask. Just the heavy breathing. That must be uncomfortable. Super uncomfortable. I didn't dare speak. His ear twitched towards the computers, and then he stood up. He wiped off the blade as he read the words on screen. Yeah, I got a little carried away. But, can you blame me? His hips swayed to the side as all he'd done was some kind of charming foible. Oh, wow. Thank you for the very generous donation, Wound. Okay. Is there something special you'd like to see? Anything for my most loyal customer. Oh, of course, is that all? He suddenly turned back to me. God, no more. He circled behind me and crouched in fluid motion. I flinched at the sound of a metallic click. But to my surprise, the wrist shackles were disconnected from the chain above me. I fell forward clumsily as I was caught by clawed hands. No, come on back up. He pulled me back up right on my knees against him with surprising firmness. My hands were still bound by the shackles, but I relished the release of the strain from hanging. But my relief was short-lived as he grabbed my chin from behind and forced me to look into the cameras. You've been so quiet, darling. Why don't you say something nice for your admirers? His claws dug into my cheeks in direct contrast to his sickly sweet tone of voice. Hi. She's so shy. What happens if we do? Please, I don't want to die. I didn't care. He gleefully pressed his face beside mine. You're so cute. I could just eat you up. Don't do that, please. He definitely would. Those chicken hearts he eats. This is right here. wrapped around my neck from behind. A wave of panic washed over me as I tried to grasp it with my bound hands. It was some sort of cable, pulling tighter and tighter. I couldn't grab it. I can't breathe. I tried to throw myself to the side, but all it did was tighten the wire around my neck. With increased urgency, I clawed at my own neck. I can't. You know, Panic eclipsed all other sensations. I dug my own fingernails deep into my neck. I think I snaked this one from your boy. It wouldn't move. It's too tight. I can't. The shackles on my wrist got heavier and heavier. It was a little funny. I think he was a bit upset. The wire, I have to. My shaking hands kept dropping as I mentally screamed at myself to lift them, to pull the wire off, to do anything. He has good taste, just like his old man. My hands fell into my lap like a lead. My vision darkened. Fox's voice became jovial static. I couldn't feel anything, nothing at all. Something hit me. I thought we died. My desperate lungs tore a violent inhale from the air. My body exploded into a terrible mess of coughing and sobbing. I began to writhe against the ground. When did I fall? What is happening? Oh, nation. We can wrap it up with. How's it going, sweetie? Huh? Fully Loaded wants to see you perform. I was still gasping. I could barely understand what was happening. You need to wake up. He grabbed my head. Before I could register what was happening, he slammed my face into the floor. I felt the crunch on the front of my face throughout my whole body. I was fully paralyzed with agony. He pulled my wrists up and reattached them to the chain above. Blood streamed down my face. I couldn't do anything but stare in shock. He grabbed the sides of my head and forced me to look straight ahead. Are you guys ready for the finale? He pressed himself into the back of my head. I froze in recognition. Oh God. Oh God. The nape of my neck. I was surprised to feel him let go and walk away. When he came back, my blood ran cold. He wavered a gun in clear view of the cameras. No, wait. Shh. I am not going to kill you. If you do a good job anyway. Actually, he turned to his monitors. Why don't we play a little game? It'll be fun. I heard the rapid tapping of a keyboard. I've made a poll. He turned back to me with a horrific glint in his eyes. I cringed involuntarily as he approached me and raised the gun to my face. Alice here is going to open her mouth and give the barrel of the gun the best we've ever seen. What? And you guys will vote on whether or not I pull the trigger. What do you think? I trembled as he read the screens. He looked back at me. You'd better get to work. They already started voting. Which should I choose? If I refuse, I'd probably die. If I obey confidently, they'd probably hate that. Obey reluctantly. I don't have a choice. I leaned forward and opened my mouth. Oh God, oh God, oh God. He gleefully shoved the gun inside. That's disgusting. Oh no! I immediately tasted blood. I suppressed a groan. It must be from my nose. I'm sure it's broken. It still hurts. My whole body hurts. I steeled myself and stuck my tongue out along the gun barrel. I can't think about that now. I just need to do this. I'm dying. I squeezed my eyes shut and tried to ignore the pain, ignore the gun, ignore the sound of him. Undoing his belt? I risked a glance and my suspicions were confirmed. He undid his pants to start disgusting. Just took the gun. I moved my mouth and tried to make a show of it. I am dead. I am so dead. I could hear him panting. No, concentrate. Now you're getting it. He was practically okay. I made a show of. I don't even know if I can show this. I'm dead. Look at that. I couldn't stop myself. Good. You might have to work a little harder to impress Chet, though. Oh, God. My thoughts wandered to the people watching. Chat, how many people were watching this? I was shaking. Come on. Tear rolled down my cheek as I fell. I can't think about that. I focused on my single task, on survival. Just a little more. I obeyed him and ignored everything else. It's just a gun. My thoughts were interrupted as the gun was suddenly pulled from my mouth. We're dead. We're dead. He was looking at the screen. What a damn shame. I thought you did really well. Wait, what? But they're the ones in charge. No. Okay, wait. Let's slow it. Obey reluctantly. I don't have a choice. Okay, we did this. Okay, we did that. I felt sick. No, concentrate. Hey, It looks like Chat likes it too. I wrapped my lips around the gun to stop myself from grimacing in disgust. My thoughts wandered to the people watching. Chat, how many people were watching this? I was shaking. Come on. A tear rolled down my cheek as I felt a hot flush of shame. I can't think about that. I focused on my single task, on survival. Just a little more. I obeyed him and ignored everything else. It's just a gun. I gasped as the gun was suddenly withdrawn from my mouth. You're unnatural. It looks like Chad was impressed. He places the gun on the table. A little flutter of hope lit up in my chest. They like you, and they want to see more. They do? That's right, darling. He was still breathing hard and still... Okay, yeah, get it. Also, I think we should give them one more little treat before we wrap up for the night. The chain above me loosened as he shoved my head down. But he grabbed my head in an iron grip. Two clawed fingers forced the eyelid of my right eye open. Panic flooded back through my system. Oh no. What are you doing? His other hand went back to work, stroking himself. He positioned himself above my eye. Oh god, that's disgusting. Don't. No, don't. His moans started to sound like growling. I can't move, I can't. In a single instant, shot into my eye, and I instinctively jerked my head. I screamed at the searing pain in my skull. His claw had plunged into my eye when I moved. Oh god. I hate, like I said before, I hate anything that has to do with the eyes. I absolutely hate it. It's like somehow I can feel it in my eye. It's phantom pain. Joking. My scream trailed off into an agonized groan. His painful grip stayed for so long, until it finally dropped away. My face was drenched in blood and other liquids I didn't want to think of it. That is disgusting. I would hate being in my position. His heavy breathing finally evened out, and he tucked himself back into his pants. The humiliation was just a faraway buzzing in comparison to the agony. My eye, I can't see from it. Did he really? My attention snapped back to him as he composed himself with a satisfied sigh. I thought you might like that. He was talking to them again. A perfect end to a perfect stream. Thank you so much for joining me, my delightful patrons. And let's show a little appreciation for our lovely star, Alice. Yes, I agree. Well, I'm sure we'll have plenty of fun next time too. Good night for now. He made the motion of a blowing kiss to the camera. Okay, he's like... Then he clicked something and tapped away at the keyboard. He sighed and turned to me. I squinted up and at him painfully with my one good eye. To my surprise, he had pulled off his mask. He looks creepy as hell. He should put it back on. Well, you survived the show. That's not very common, you know. You should be proud of yourself. I died, okay? I shouldn't be proud of myself because I already died. I had no idea what to feel. Everything hurt so much. As adorable as you are like that, we should get you cleaned up. His voice sounded different without the mask. My brain was barely holding on to the concept. Hey! Suddenly he was holding my face, looking at me. Snapping fingers. I'm tired. And then he just passed out. Looking at Fox right now. He's very handsome. There you go. Huh? You passed out. Can't blame you, really. You did lose a lot of blood. I gasped as I saw him clearly for the first time. He's older than I realized, and he's really short. Yeah, let's just say, Ren, you're very short, and then he'll kill us. But clearly inhuman as well. I looked around at the empty room around me. Why can't I see? I held up a hand to touch my eye and found bandages. My eye! Yes. Bit of a shame, but you have a spare, I did what you said. I survived. You said... That's right. You did very well. Aren't you gonna let me go? He responded in that sharp bark of a laugh. He looks so cute, though. For a, I don't know, like 40-year-old man. Oh, sweetie. You're not going to be leaving. A lump caught in my throat. You have a job now. You need to keep performing. What? In fact, you better get some rest. You'll want to heal as best as you can for our next show. He stepped towards the door. No, that can't be it. I lunged forward and immediately crumpled to the floor. Searing pain shot up my foot. Yeah, you might want to stay off that foot. Don't want to tear your stitches now. I cradled my foot and tried not to cry. Good night, Alice. Wait! Nothing. Sleep tight. I stared at the door, then I looked around myself. Absolutely nothing aside from a toilet in the corner and some kind of foam mattress. Go to sleep! Don't try to escape! I dragged myself painfully wearily to the foam pad on the floor, and I flopped down. There's no point in working myself up now. My body hurts too much. I just want to sleep. I woke up slowly, my body aching. The memory of the night before came flooding back to me with a wave of panic. As I stared at my empty confines, the panic slowly turned to misery. I looked down at myself and froze, plain underwear. He undressed me, and when I was knocked out, I shivered at the thought before laying back down. There's no point in getting upset now. I rolled over and closed my eyes. I stayed in the room for what felt like days, but it was impossible to tell. No windows, no change in the lights, nothing to look at all. The maddening silence was only broken once every several hours, a meager meal of bread and water in the paper cup being pushed through a slot at the bottom of the door. I considered starving myself. Why didn't I notice this when I first played this? I mean, it was like 3 a.m. and I went till 5 a.m. It was 3 a.m. when I played this, and like I went to 5 a.m., but I never noticed this. But I didn't have the strength. Yeah, because I could skip it. So I ate, and I rested. I tried to pretend I was in a hospital. Oh, that's so sad. That everything was fine. Some of my wounds began to feel a little better, but my eye didn't. It felt hot and itchy. I was too afraid to lift the bandages. Coward. I shook the thought from my head. I let myself drift away into wavering unconsciousness. Oh. The sound of the heavy door swinging open jolted me out of a restless nap. Hello, Alice. It's time for you to get to work again. I shot upright and I unconsciously shuffled backwards. He's back. He came back. Before I could say anything, 2 huge guards entered the room behind him. They made him look even shorter, but somehow the air of malice still came directly from him. You need to get dressed. Dressed? My own voice sounded foreign to me. I realized I hadn't spoken in days. He threw a wad of black netting in front of me. Yes, dressed. I grabbed and examined the wad of material. It's unfurled into some sort of bodysuit made entirely of fishnet, complete with underwear that looked much too small for me. I looked back up to him. Surely he doesn't. He sighed with an obvious annoyance. We're on schedule. You can get dressed or I'll have them do it for you. I looked at the pair of goons and gulped. I gotta get dressed. I can do it myself. I held up the scant netting. I hooked a thumb in my underwear and looked up, half expecting them to turn around. But of course they didn't. I shakily removed my underwear, tried to cover myself. Of course he's enjoying it. I hate this. Thankfully, they seemed to not react at all. I hastily pulled on the new underwear. I was a bit relieved to find that it was extremely stretchy, but it was still terribly revealing. I sighed in defeat and pulled the fishnet over my body. Lovely. Stand up straight and turn. I could feel myself flushing hotly. I tried to remind myself that this is surely better than what's coming. The thought didn't help much. I obeyed him and turned around slowly. Perfect. He did sound pretty happy. Hopefully I bought myself some mercy. He made a motion towards me and a guard approached. I stayed still as he circled behind me and pulled my arms back. A click and the familiar weight of metal shackles weighed my wrists down. Now, come on. We don't have any more time. The guard pushed me forward and out of the room. I was walked down a few dark hallways before we stopped at another heavy door. As I pushed through into the darkness, I smelled old blood. I saw the screens, the chain. He pushed to my knees below it. Not this room, not this room. I couldn't stop the panic from buzzing in my brain. My feet were shackled to the floor. Please, not again. My wrist shackles were attached to the chain. That'll be all. Heavy footsteps left the room and the door thudded shut with terrifying finality. There was an awful voice in my head repeating the same thing over and over. You're not going to survive this again. A hand grabbed my face. Are you ready? Thank you for watching this video. Even though it was short, I will be finishing Fox's Rat next time, but I had so much fun. And anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!